So it's no secret that the NRA has had some recent struggles, some self-inflicted, others can be described as nothing more than frivolous attacks, like this lawsuit out of New York, where the Attorney General is vowing to, quote, dissolve the NRA. Well, after going through what I've described as a much-needed reset, the NRA is emerging stronger than ever before and on its way to moving from the oppressive state of New York to the great state of Texas, a state I call home. Well, here to discuss is the Executive Vice President and CEO of the NRA, Wayne LaPierre. Welcome, and thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program this evening.
Thanks for having me, Grant. Good to be with you.
So I think what every member wants to know when they look at Letitia James' suit, when they look at the bankruptcy, when they look at things going on inside the NRA, are we still in a position to be successful? Is the NRA as strong as it's ever been? What's the state, Wayne?
Yes, it is. And let me set this in context. Your clip really let it where it needs to go. So much of this is about the hatred of some politicians toward our constitutional freedoms and the organization, the #1 organization that defends it, the National Rifle Association. And all we are people all over the country that believe in their freedom. You know, this organization has had an historical record of achievement, right to carry in 41 states. We saved the American firearms industry from certain bankruptcy by these predatory lawsuits. Emergency power bills where they can't come into your house and confiscate your firearm and leave you defenseless in a time of emergency. And then those historic Heller and McDonald decisions that said the Second Amendment is your individual right. It's not about the government's right.
You and I have talked. They now are weaponizing government, and not just New York, but other states around the country. But New York is the tip of the iceberg here. How do you survive their all-out assault on you?
Starting in early 2018, Governor Cuomo's Department of Financial Services went after every bank and insurance company doing business in New York State. And that's the most powerful financial center in the country, and said, hey, if you do business with the NRA, we're going to punish you. There will be retribution. You'll pay a price. I mean, the awesome power of the state. And then his hand-picked candidate for Attorney General, Letitia James, before she ever a day in office, during her campaign, said that because the NRA supported the Second Amendment, she considered it a terrorist criminal organization, and when she won, she was going to open up an investigation. I mean, you can't do that in the United States of America. You can do that in other countries where we shake our head and say, thank God we don't live there. So we have filed 2 major First Amendment cases against the governor, his Department of Financial Services, and also against the sitting Attorney General and her corrupt regulatory system that are attempting to silence and destroy the NRA. This is a constitutional fight. It's bigger than the NRA. It's for all Americans, because if they can do it to NRA today, they can do it to any organization on the right or left tomorrow.
It's amazing to me that the American Civil Liberties Union has come out on the side of the NRA, this liberal organization, but because a conservative state, if they follow this liberal logic, could do this to Planned Parenthood in Texas, or anybody could be open to this. So this lawsuit is really about protecting speech. You've got this bankruptcy now, the move to Texas. Does it make you stronger? Is there any sign of weakness there? What are you telling members?
Well, what that's about, it's about one thing. The NRA was incorporated in New York in 1871. We faced a weaponized, as I said, regulatory system. We are asking, we filed Chapter 11. The NRA is strong financially. We're growing in members, 33,000 last month, about 1,000 a day. And we're asking a federal judge to let us reincorporate in a freedom-loving state like Texas.
So look, the NRA could not be more important organization right now. When you look at what Joe Biden has laid out, I have called it the most radical anti-gun agenda I've ever seen in my adult lifetime. How about you, Wayne?
Yeah, I mean, if they get their way, they'll leave Americans defending their homes with broomsticks and garden hoses. I mean, my gosh, I mean, at the very root of American consciousness is I have a right to defend myself. I don't want to face evil with empty hands. I mean, every police officer knows you want to control violent criminals, take them off the streets. And yet here we see this agenda on the part of the Biden administration to just go after law-abiding people, not go after criminals. And what they don't understand is all of their gun control requires the criminal's cooperation. The criminal could care less. Honest people all over the country, they don't want to be left defenseless. That's why they're joining the NRA in record numbers right now, and why I ask everyone joining this, join the NRA tomorrow. We're going to fight, and we're going to defend your freedom, and we're going to stand up to this.
I know you will. And look, they're trying to turn criminals, American law-abiding citizens, into criminals. That's the shame of all of this. Lastly, Wayne, before I let you go, I know it's been a tough couple years. What's life been like for you now?
Well, you know, it's not really me. I mean, this is about all Americans. This is a question of whether we're going to live in a country where, and I really mean it, where if you have a different political point of view than the politicians that control the government at any given time, whether those politicians can use their power to silence and destroy you. It's about whether we have constitutional freedoms like the right to keep and bear arms, to protect yourself and your family if the glass breaks at 2 a.m. at night. I mean, that's what this fight's about. That's what NRA does every day. That's what the people around the country want this organization to do. And what I love about it is NRA stands on principle and fight. It's not there to be here to be popular in this town. It's here to represent people all over the country that want their freedoms defended.
Well, I know you've been a strong supporter and fighter for not just gun rights and gun owners, but really all of our freedoms. It's really a pleasure having you on the program. You know I'm committed to the mission of the NRA and everything all of you are doing there at headquarters and supporting all of the 5 million members. Wayne LaPierre, thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks for being with you, Grant.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.